Hi everyone, it's Brad Seaman. Hope you're doing well. I'm so excited. I've got Mike Bartholomew here. He's a restoration contractor and he's with IRP, Independent Restoration Professionals. And it's so great to have you on today. I wanted to share Mike with you and share a little bit about his business and why I feel he's really different than most of the restoration contractors out there. So Mike, thanks for being on, and
thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about your business.
Well, I'm a restoration contractor, as you mentioned. Our specialty is when the unexpected happens. So if you have a leak in your plumbing, fire in your home, something like that you're not planning on, versus a remodel where you've been planning and saving for, but this thing happens out of the blue, I'm a really good resource to homeowners. I have the specialists that come in and can fix the plumbing, can dry things out, perform any mitigation services required to the home. And then we negotiate things with an insurance company, typically is the case, and on the behalf of the homeowner, and then put it all back together like it never happened, and do whatever remodeling improvements someone might want to do at that time.
And thank you for that, Mike. What's interesting and what you've trained me well at is to call you first. And I've always been accustomed to calling an insurance company or having somebody come in that I think is going to have my best interests in mind. And Mike, you've been out to a couple properties for us that either didn't end up being an insurance claim and you're able to mitigate the loss ahead of time, or you've been able to help us navigate through that and let us know what's a loss and what's not in the insurance world. And tell me about your background, because you were telling me about your insurance specific background that helps you with this.
Yeah, thank you for that, Brad. No, okay, so I started out in my career in 1993 as an insurance adjuster for one of the largest insurance companies in the country. And
you don't have to name names.
No names. That's probably a good idea. In the course of that last 24 years, I have worked around every insurance company in San Diego. Probably have worked with every insurance adjuster in San Diego. And so I've just had my ear to the ground, if you will, on all that's happening in the insurance industry. And in that time, the industry, insurance-wise, has gotten way more competitive than it used to be. And so I've seen the insurance industry, insurance companies that used to send their adjusters out with the mission of finding what is covered and then extending that coverage to the homeowners writing checks, to now an industry that's looking for a way out. It's gotten so competitive, they're looking for ways to
not pay a claim.
To not pay a claim.
Interesting.
To deny. And in some cases, in many cases, wrongfully deny. Whether that is intentional or not, it's what's happening on a very regular basis. And so
this is something interesting. And I always think, I've got an insurance policy. I want to call my agent first, and I have a trusted agent as well. But at the end of the day, you know the adjusters, you know the insurance policies, you know how to protect the consumer's rights.
Correct. Yeah, in fact, I have all too much knowledge sometimes, it feels like, in the individual policies of different insurance companies, but also the endorsements that they add on, the way adjusters, which adjusters are inclined to wrongfully deny, how they go about those denials, what they do cover, and also certain things where I may look at a situation and realize, okay, this is not that big a deal, that expensive of a problem. This might not be worth even filing a claim with your insurance company, because the other aspect of this is the underwriting considerations for an insurance company.
Right.
Insurance carriers have gotten pretty savvy how to also cut their losses early. If someone has too many water damage claims, they're going to non-renew. In other words, you can't keep your insurance.
Right. And for all of you out there, that might also have an impact on real estate. So if you decide to sell your home and you have a couple of water claims, and let's say they were $2,000 or $3,000 claims that you decided not to pay out of pocket and claim on your insurance, this might have an impact on your resale. We've seen several occasions just recently where a new homeowner had to pay increased premiums because of water losses on the house that they were buying. So having Mike on your side and calling him first so you can at least do an in-depth analysis of what makes sense would be a great idea.
Absolutely. Calling me first is probably the most important. I appreciate the fact that I'm training you well on that, because
I'm coachable.
Apparently so. No, having Having someone like me come in and see what the problem is prior to this being reported to an insurance company potentially, or reported anywhere, is really valuable, because I don't charge to come out and look at it.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to get out there, and if I see that, hey, this is a big, expensive problem, this is one that's worthy of filing an insurance claim. If that's the scenario, I'm going to be able to help your customer, help that homeowner negotiate through that process of presenting that to the insurance company in a way that just tells the facts, that keeps them covered, that avoids the wrongful denial in the first place.
Perfect.
Now, if it's a situation where it's just too small, this is not something that's worth filing the insurance claim for the reasons that you just mentioned. It's not worth having it on your claim, on your claim history. It's going to potentially make issues for you selling this property in the future.
And premiums will go up.
Premiums will go up. In those scenarios, I can just say, hey, look, let me just give you an estimate for what this is going to cost. If you've got a $2,500 deductible and you've got $3,000 worth of damage, for example, is it worth collecting $500 to have all those premium increases and all the problems that we just mentioned?
Right.
I can guide people through that as well.
That's great. That's great. So folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you Mike's information just below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Mike directly, or even better, put him in speed dial. I've got him in my speed dial right next to my jacket pocket here. So if I have an issue in my home, or if one of my clients needs help right away, I reach out to Mike and I send him out first. And he's a pretty good when it comes to being on call and getting over to a property to help mitigate that loss. So it's Mike Bartholomew with IRP, Independent Restoration Professionals. If you have any questions, reach out to him direct. Thanks.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, bud.